Hey guys, so as now it's time to do the laundry, and while I lie on the laundry also, I'm going to take the opportunity to read up some comments. Yes, what's the matter? Apa need to do laundry. Can you help Apa do the laundry? Why? Wait, Apa do laundry first, okay? Hi Con, plan to buy a used car for a budget of 20 to 30K. Should I go for a BMW 6-cylinder E46 or a 2005 Subaru Forester, or should I stick to peace of mind? Example, old Toyota Altis Camry, or even a Transformer Honda City. Hey, don't, Zen, don't. Just a typical B40 netizen. Please give your miracle opinion. Thanks. Keep up the good work, bro. My car history before was Vira 4G92, Viva, and Preve CFE. Now no car. Sell it all. So sad. 20 to 30K cash buy. Yes, you definitely can afford a BMW E46. So if that really is what you want, then go all out for it. But if your budget is ngam 30K, okay, and if you see an E46, you will have to check that the car is, you will have to really inspect the car, check that it has no major repairs needed, all right, because yeah, because if that car, because right, the thing about owning one of these old BMWs is that in the long term they can be reliable, but the startup cost, the initial cost of acquisition and restoration, that will take a bit of money. And if let's say like you buy, you basically whatever you, whenever you buy one of these old BMs, right, you just have to stand, actually even most old cars from matter, you just have to stand, you just have to ask yourself this: do you have that extra 8 to 15K of cold hard cash ready to put into your restoration? Or the other way you can look at it is, what you can do is rather, but you have to go to some of the more bigger service centers that take credit card, and yeah, you have to structure your first repair cost, all right, which will be big, into monthly installments, into monthly credit card installments. That may make it more affordable. Yeah. So what I can say is, the other option that you said, the 2005 Forester, that's not bad. That's an interesting choice too. But I can assure you, the car will be reliable, but sourcing of parts won't be as quite so easy compared to the E46. Yeah. But of course, like Bobby said in his video, right? Sometimes when you buy all these things, you have to go with your heart rather than with your head, because yes, there are supposedly safer options out there, but the question is this: when you go for that safer option, would you, when you, every time when you park your car and get down, would you turn around and look at it? Or every time when you have to go and head somewhere, do you look forward to the drive? That is something that you really need to think about. So, I mean, based on the way you phrased your sentence, I could be wrong. You seem pretty keen on the E46, and I would say go for it. My only word of advice, if you go for an E46 or even an E90 for that matter, advice is would be stay away from the 2-liter 4-cylinder engines. Go for the 6 cylinders. But I do hear that with the E46 pre-facelift, the 1.9-liter 318 is not bad. Right? It's underpowered, but it's reliable. So the best options to go when you go for an E46 or an E93 series, go for the 6-cylinder engines. Can't go wrong with them. All right, next comment. This is in response to the day 22 video by Lockdown. Just bought a brand new Saga 3 months ago. Noticed recently that the bumpers have a color mismatch and the car has never been into any accidents. I remember you replaced your old Persona bumper for the exact same reasons as well. Will the color mismatch be covered under Proton warranty? 3 months ago, 3 months ago punya saga, I was under the impression that the the quality of the paint should be better than what I had with my Persona. But yes, my old Persona at that time, we did had we did have a mismatch of the paintwork, so we didn't have the bumper replaced. What happened was that they just took the car back and resprayed it. So yes, you do have a case. Go to any of the big Proton, 4S 4S, you go to the 4S dealers like COE and all, right? Those with body and paint facilities one, right? See, ask them, go and complain to them. Tell them that, hey, the paint is mismatched, and by right, under warranty, that should be claimable, no question. Hello, Con. What's your thoughts on an E90 325 LCI? No issues. Buy. The E90s now are going at very, very attractive prices. That day I saw a 2011 323 going for 38,800 ringgit. So 325, depending on the seller lah, it's thereabouts the same price one. Maybe 325 will command a bit higher pricing, but not much. The difference is not much. So if you're looking at an E90, definitely go for the 6-cylinder engines, 323 or 325. If you find a rare 330i, even better, or 335i, oh my god, that car is bonkers. Avoid the 320i. Okay. Yeah. So that's it. Good to go. Right. No, E90 325. Good to go. Just watch out for the usual N52 engine issues, but these are all predictable things, right? Water pump, the cooling system lah, water pump. Then also change all the hoses, check the one-offs. The one-offs may need a rebuild, and also watch for the transmission. Okay, the one thing about the E90 is that the E90, the BMW recommends no lifetime no oil change for the transmission. All right. So if the owner did not change the transmission fluids at all, you may need to look into a rebuild or a replacement of the gearbox if you get yourself a high mileage unit. Okay. But overall, E90, no reliability problems. But you do have to watch out for one thing. You have to be prepared to live with on a day-to-day basis. The E90 steering is very, very heavy. Okay, it's ridiculously heavy. I come from my Waja and my E39. Those two have pretty heavy steerings, but the E90 is another level of heaviness. So if your daily commute involves a lot of tight spaces, you may actually find that cumbersome. Okay, next one by Becky. Driving the family's 1998 Iswara 1.3 manual since I got my license until now. Wow, not bad. Should I just restore the car, or am I better off buying another car? It has rust issues, but I like the handling better than most cars. The common problem I have is consistent damage of the underarm regardless the amount of replacement. So there are replies, okay. If you can afford, I think it's better to get a new car, time for an upgrade. Yeah, and you reply, technically any car in the market is already an upgrade from my current one. If you want fun to drive car. All right, so the thing is that this car, right, you say it has rust issues. So when you have rust issues, that's a slippery slope. The question now to you is, does that car have sentimental value to you? If that car has sentimental value to you, you have that mindset of wanting to keep that car at all costs, then do a proper full bodywork restoration on it. Because rust, once your car kena rust, right, you can't settle it with half measured issues, right? You have to tackle it full on, and that's something where you may want to direct a question to Chris V as well. So yeah, you have to be prepared to strip everything down. Okay, you may have to re-weld parts of the body and all. So it's a lot of work. The money that you pour into the repairs may well be more than what the car is worth. So the question is, do you think it's worth your while or not? Okay, and yeah, that's the main question. If you can get past that, if that car means something to you, maybe it's something that that's passed down to you from your parents, or maybe that's the car you had you met your first love, had your first job, whatever, or maybe that was the car that was always by your side, that's always been by your side. So if that is the scenario, then yes, if you want to keep the car, but you have to be prepared to spend quite a bit of money to fully redo that rust, because rust, no joke one, you really have to stamp it out, otherwise it just continues to spread. All right, so I wouldn't even tell you to sell the car, because you're just passing the problem to someone else. If your options right now is to go on full on restore the car, be prepared to pay, or scrap the car for parts. All right, what I'm sure there are many other Iswara owners out there who could use some good parts in their car. So yeah, my recommendation to you is a choice between these two. Okay, Arif Zaim, 2013 Audi Q5 versus 2013 BMW X3. Honestly, both are good cars. So it really is just a question of preference. But of course, the Audi, the Q3 has definitely a better interior than the X3. The X3 interior, right? BMW interior typically is very plain, solidly built, but very plain. Does not really feel that premium. Whereas if you go and look at the Q3, Q3 has fabulous interior choice of materials, fabulous fit and finish and all that. So in terms of the overall feel inside the car, definitely the Q3 feels more expensive. To drive, well, the X3, the BMW X drive system definitely has sportier behavior. So if you really like to drive the car harder, more enthusiastically, then maybe you do want the X3. But really, it's a matter of preference to me. But either way you choose, well, you've got to be proactive with your maintenance, with your preventive maintenance. Do all the necessary checks, do all the usual checks required for German cars, the water pump, valve train, basically a cooling system, valve train. All right, check all these components, the transmission, drive train, center diff of the all-wheel drive system, all that. So be thorough with your pre-purchase inspection, and either way you should be getting yourself fairly good cars. All right, random question: least favorite car of all time? Suzuki Alto. That's my response. Simply put, poorly built, poor refinement, not nice to drive, and well below the capability of what Suzuki can deliver. You see, the thing with Suzuki is that they don't make bad cars. I've driven the Kizashi, I've driven the Vitara, I've driven 2 generations of the Swift, I've driven even the S-Cross. They don't make fundamentally bad cars. Their cars are simple, yes, but they are not bad. They give you the feeling that these cars are well put together. They are solid and fun to drive. Genuinely fun to drive. The Alto was none of those. It feels really like Suzuki just put that car together for the sake of doing it, and it was a car that, yes, it was it had a funky styling and all that, but really that car was not up to scratch. I mean, if you jump from that car to even a Viva, the Viva feels like an upgrade. So yeah, Baldwin say you can consider doing car buying Q&A guide, since Bobby's channel seemed to be overwhelmed with a ton of questions. Yep, so here I am. And then next question, Michael Leong says, Iswara didn't have power steering, right? I remember it was hard to turn. The automatic versions had power steering. So and it's a very simple power steering system that you can buy one from a chop shop and retrofit to your car. It's a very simple hydraulic power steering system. Manual ones didn't have power steering, and I remember driving I remember one day my friend let me drive his manual Iswara at that time. I was really taken aback. That was my first time driving a car without power steering, and whoo, I was in for a shock. But the thing about cars with non-power steering is the steering really is only heavy when you are at a standstill. Once the car is on the move, then it's really not a severe effort at all to drive the car. Okay, so the trick you learn the trick once you, let's say when your car is at a standstill and you need to move the car. What you do is you just inch the car forward a little. Then as the car is moving, you turn the wheel. It feels a lot lighter. Yeah. So I think the final batch of Iswaras, the one with the big exhaust, right? Those had power steering. Okay, so this is an earlier comment. Kalau bro review kereta dalam bahasa Melayu mungkin bertambah banyak subscriber. Saya pernah dengar review bersama Nas bahasa Melayu yang cukup bagus dengan penerangan yang jelas dan tepat. Buat 2 review English dan Malay lagi bagus, mungkin dapat sambutan. Okay, so ini saya dah start buat juga atas galakan daripada Abang Nas. Okay, so setiap kereta yang saya review, kalau ada kesempatan, saya memang buat review bahasa Inggeris dan bahasa Melayu. Okay, so matlamatnya adalah kerana kita teruskan buat review bahasa Inggeris. Ini adalah sebab penonton antarabangsa, penonton overseas, mereka lebih faham bahasa Inggeris. So jadi kita teruskan usaha untuk video bahasa Inggeris. Tapi maklumlah BM tu bahasa kebangsaan. So jadi saya pun ada buat versi bahasa Melayu juga. Cuma bila saya buat versi BM kan, saya nampak sambutan video macam kurang hangat. Tapi komen untuk video bahasa Melayu lebih tinggi. So misalnya untuk katakan video bahasa yang dalam bahasa Inggeris saya dapat 10,000 views. Saya mungkin dapat 50 komen. Tapi untuk video bahasa Melayu yang sama, saya mungkin dapat cuma 2,000 views tapi komen ada 70-80. So ya, ini merupakan satu fenomena yang saya perhatikan untuk video bahasa Melayu saya. Tapi apapun, saya masih akan terus mengeluarkan video dalam 2 bahasa selepas inilah. Okay, so terima kasih kerana sokong. Okay, so there is another comment here. On my moratorium video, Kelvin says it's non-compounding interest. In other words, the loan interest calculation is being freezed for 6 months. I've checked my house loan account online, which confirmed the non-compounding interest benefit. I would pull the 6 installments and pay one shot to clear the principal amount. It's not a bad idea. Good thinking, bro. Gary says, I'm for the same video. I'm fortunate enough my company is able to pay our salary, and for the time being, there's no risk of anyone being let go. I've opted out and continue paying my house loan. Hopefully this helps. Whatever small ways to keep jobs in the bank too. Yeah, that's the right thinking, because it's not, because in this point in time, right, everybody needs the cash flow. So as much as you need the extra money, the bank needs the money too. So whatever you can do to keep money flowing in the economy, that's a good thing. More money, okay, so then Oli Wu says, more money in the pocket now is anytime better than worrying about the interest. Your money is worth more now than the future. Good point. Then there's a reply there says, for house, maybe not worth it. For car, absolutely worth it. The interest is already fixed, nothing to lose. Use that money instead for the rainy days. You see, that's the whole point. It comes back to this point that I've been trying to make. We do not know how long this MCO is going to last. All right. Right now, as I record this, is 9th April. So tomorrow we will be hearing the announcement on what's next. But we do not know whether it will extend. We do not know whether it will they will lift it. But looking at the infection numbers, I'm not optimistic of seeing it ending next week lah. Okay. So the thing is, those of us who are lucky enough to remain employed, we should be thankful, but at the same time, we do not know how long we will stay employed. So the moratorium, the bank moratorium, as I said, I do not know, I'm not a financial expert, but even assuming that there is added interest in taking up the facility, it is still something not to be dismissed out of hand, because it's probably not a bad idea to stockpile some cash at hand while we weather this storm, right? So that once the whole MCO blows over, once we get out of this in one piece, then we actually can take one of the earlier suggestions that I mentioned just now. All right, whatever extra money that you have kept, not spent, you can just take the whole chunk of money and dump it in and clear a large chunk of your principal, for example. Okay, so yeah, it's to me, the moratorium is a good thing. All right, those of you guys, you can afford to continue paying, well, then go, and if you want to, continue paying. All right, but I would say if you need it, if you need to take it, just take it. Okay, then there's another comment. In this case, unless you really need to settle your loans 6 months early, then sure, maintain payments. But at the moment, to my understanding, there is no cost to lender. Hence, it's just going to delay your settlement by 6 months. The cash flow then you would have in your hands would be useful if this COVID-19 issue carries on for months. In an emergency situation, it's best to have the additional liquidity, since there don't seem to be an end to this situation in the near term. And this is something that I agree. See, like in my case, right, I have built up a financial reserve of maybe about 2 to 3 months of spare cash, right, and to last me through rainy days. But of course, in the current scenario where we are not going out, we are not spending as much money, all right, and with the bank moratorium freezing repayments, that money I think can stretch for a further maybe 4 months to 6 months. I don't know, but the tricky part is I've also took some of that money and locked them up in FD, in in some mutual funds and all that. So and also, so see, the thing is, the money is there for me to tap in if I need it. But the thing is that involves, it's not money that is readily available. It's sort of, the money is sort of there, but also locked away. So yeah, so it's I am kind of like feeling it, say, yeah, if only that money is just in my savings account that I can withdraw anytime, that would make it easy. But yeah, so I mean, in terms of actual liquid cash, I am running a little low at the moment. This is the first time I am properly scared with my job. I was ordered to take 2 weeks unpaid leave since the company is not doing well. Ong Yen Ket. Sorry to hear that. Hope things get better. All right, and hope your company will be able to rebound and be able to resume paying you your original salary. But this is something for us to really ponder, all right? And it is something that I urge everyone to consider. We need to ask ourselves this question: what if this MCO stretches 6 months? What if this coronavirus crisis stretches for a year? I mean, we will prevail from this. Of that, there is no doubt. But the question is how long? And we do need to ask ourselves, how well equipped are we to brave it if this storm drags on. And it is perhaps best that we consider, all right, how are we going to keep ourselves staying relevant? How are we going to preserve our earning power in the event that this drags on? So it is something really for everyone to think about. It's we need to have every one of us, we need to think of that personal contingency plan. You know, what if things don't work out as well as we hope they will be. But yeah, so that's all the questions and comments I'll be going through for this video. Stay home, guys. Stay safe. See you for the next video. All right, cheers.